And we're back with celebration certificates. We have already created certificates for our group. We have made rewards for that group, and now it's time to add names so we can start putting the names and the rewards and the certificates together. Here is our home web page, and there's our Get Started button at the bottom again. But we're already loaded up on here, and you can see we're using the teacher login. This is our demonstration login, obviously, and we're going to log in. Back on the dashboard, quickly, I'll show you that we have some saved certificates, one with a border, one without a border. We have some rewards. We have 5 different rewards. Remember, we left 6 spots on those certificates, so we could even add more rewards and show you what it looks like, but we'll start with 5. And we also have already set up in the admin account, we've already set up one recipient group called Group 1. It's time to manage our students. All right, so there's 2 ways to do this. One, we can add one new student at a time. And what we can do is take the name, add it to the group, Group 1. You could have several different groups in there if you chose to. And there you see we have one name in already. Or we can bulk load our students. And this works fabulously. It's one of the best things about the program, is you can take a Word document. Here's one that has all the names, made up names obviously, that I can copy. And I can paste directly into the program. I'm going to add them to Group 1. And we've loaded up to 150 names at one time in this program. It works out very well. And perform bulk load. OK. And now we have everybody in alphabetical order in the group. Remember, if you want it to show up as Betty Boop or Darth Vader, you have to make sure that Betty is the first name and Boop is the last name. It'll load just exactly as you put it in there. You can even change the names if you don't like the spelling. Let's say you think that Mama Cass has 2 M's in it. You can edit. Sorry, I guess 2 M's side by side in it, and you can save it that way, and it'll change. I think Mama Cass has 1 M. 2 M's, but not side by side. So we're going to leave it as it was. All right, now you have names all in Group 1. You could have it as Grade 5, and then you can have Grade 6 names, and they would sort properly. Now you're ready to go and print certificates. So here's the Print Certificates bar. There you can see, first step is to choose a certificate. Let's choose the one with the border, Certificate 1. Then to choose a group. We only have one group, but we're going to choose that one. So I highly recommend that we start with a trial first before we do any purchasing. You can see that if I wanted Betty Boop to have every reward, I could hit that arrow right there and she would have every reward there was. If she didn't get the homework one, or one of these awards, or she was sick that day or whatever, you could take them off. Same with Homework Hero. If everyone in your class was a Homework Hero, then you could certainly give them all the check marks. Let's start with Betty. Betty was a Homework Hero. Let's give her every reward. Let's just make sure we know what that looks like right now. Once they're in there and we want to keep them, we can hit the Save button right there. And that saves Betty for, if we wanted to go away and come back. But we're going to preview. So the program will take and put the name on the certificate and to put all the rewards on the certificate. And there you have it. Betty Boop. There's our teddy bear icon and our heading. This is the timestamp we put on there. And we can see the rewards. And they look great. Really well. But if you're not sure, or if you do it without a border, I would suggest that you download the PDF proof. Okay, so now it's downloaded. Let's have a look. Look, the border fits the screen. You can see that while the proof watermark is still through, you have a good idea how it looks. This would be especially important if you're using a borderless certificate back, and then you're going to print it on a certificate with a border already. That way I could print this off and then hold it up and make sure that everything fit inside the certificate with the pre-printed border. Pretty important. Looks good to me. Looks like everything's working. So we can get rid of that and go back to where we started. Now if we liked it, we could save it to cart and then go and check out. But we're going to go back and do them all. So let's go back to Print Certificates. I have to start the process over again because we really are starting over again. Okay, and we're going to go to Group 1. And it's going to load up the group. Now, Betty was awesome. We're going to leave her with everything. But Darth Vader, not such a good student. He was in band, and he didn't do math very well, but he did show and tell. He brought in the Force, and he did jump rope. Franklin Turtle, he was a pretty good guy, but he didn't do show and tell. Fred Flintstone, he was excellent. That guy really knew what he was doing. Larry Bird, of course, is excellent. He gets everything. Mama Cass didn't do her homework, but she was in band because she's very musically inclined, and musicians and math go hand in hand. She was good for show and tell. And Rajesh, he did very well as well. We're going to give him some. And Ted Preston. And Tony Stark, of course, brilliant. So he's going to do it all. And now that we've all gone down, I recommend saving each time simply so that you know that once they're in there, they're in there. And this can come back all year long and add to it if you wanted to. We're going to preview and purchase. So the more certificates and the more rewards you have in there, the longer it'll take to create your list of certificates. We have done a school with 80 different rewards and 500 different students, not all at the same time, but 30 or 60 at a time, and it doesn't take any more than 3 or 4 minutes, obviously. And here we come up to the proofs. And if you'd like, you can actually look through and see Betty Boop is there. And there's Darth Vader. See, he didn't get the same rewards as anybody else. He's not a good student. Franklin Turtle did well. So did Fred. Good kid, that Fred. Larry Bird. Well done, everybody. We like those. Then we would do is save to cart, and we'll go to checkout. But let's do one more thing, just because we have a little time and we want to make it. Let's realize there were a couple more rewards we wanted to add. So we don't even have to worry about this anymore. We can go back to My Rewards. And just for fun, we're going to add a few more rewards. Let's call it the Academic Achievement Award. And we're going to add, for fun, the, where are we? The Milk Award, because milk is always good for you. And what you're going to see is that if you have students with more rewards than they have spaces, the program will actually split them between 2 certificates, so you can have 2 certificates for everybody. Let's say that table tennis was also an award that is offered to this group. So now we have more rewards than spots on our certificate. We're going to go back and print certificate. So let's choose one because it's pretty. There's our group. And you can see that what we had done before has been saved. But now Betty Boop, of course, was our best student, and she did great. So she's going to get every reward, and we're going to have to move over a little bit to get them all on there. And so did Franklin. In fact, most of them drank their milk. Darth Vader didn't. He never does the right thing. And Tony Stark didn't because he's just a rebel, but he's great at table tennis. And you can see we have all sorts of ideas for all these things. And kids will earn as much chance as you give them. So now we have more spots on some of those certificates than the students have earned, but we also have filled up the spots for some of them as well. So we're back to waiting for the program to put them all together. One of the things we've discovered that even if you have not a lot of variation in what the students are getting, if they're all getting the same thing, the beauty of the program is that it'll add the names and create the PDF for you to print off without you having to put in each name separately. It saves a ton of time and resource. Time, of course, is our most valuable commodity. Okay, so now we have all of the names, certificate, all generated, but you'll also see that some of these have, Betty Boop, for example, has more than one certificate. Have a look. We have 13 certificates generated for 9 names. Look at, here we come. Betty has 2 different certificates, each one with 4 icons on it. Way to go, Betty. Whereas I think Darth is next. That poor kid didn't do very good. He only has 4 certificates, or 4 icons, because he, of course, wasn't very good. But Franklin's got 5. Good job, Franklin. Fred's only got 4. Actually, I think Fred has more. There you go. Fred had 7. See, so they split it between 2 different groups. Larry as well has 2 certificates. Mama only has 1, I believe. And you can see so on and so forth. And there, Tony Stark has all 6 spots filled, but only has 1 certificate. And as you can see, everything came out nice and clear. If you're happy with them, and you've PDF'd them to make sure that you're happy with everything, you can save to cart. It's now been saved to cart, obviously. You can proceed to the checkout. And there you can see you have created 13 certificates for a total of $13. Your proofs are there. You have a choice of deleting that, of course. Once you've entered the credit card and submitted the payment and everything's been okayed, it'll send it directly to the email that you have in your admin account set up. Once you've been emailed the PDF, it's all you have to do is take it to the printer and print them off. And I would suggest great paper makes great certificates, so make sure that you have good paper in there and color it up, and away you go. Thank you very much, everybody. That's how you create certificates and celebration certificates.